Welcome to the Bard's College. I'm the headmaster here. How may I help you? Always a pleasure to meet a prospective bard. You should be aware that many apply, but we accept very few people. When possible, we ask applicants to perform tasks the college needs completed. In this case, I do have a task befitting an aspiring bard. Elisif has forbidden the burning of King Olaf, a festival put on by the Bard's College. We need to change her mind. To convince her, I want to read King Olaf's verse, a part of the Poetic Edda, the living history of Skyrim. Unfortunately, the verse was lost long ago. Yes, according to Giraud, our history's keeper, the portion of the Edda dealing with King Olaf might still exist in Dead Man's Respite. I need you to retrieve the poem. Not much, but as a bard, I find the whole affair depressing. There are no heroes in this war, no winners to be had, and no real conclusion. If you want something a bard can dig into, look to the dragons. 1,000 years from now, Skyrim will have changed rulers dozens of times, but the return of the dragons, that story is once in an era. As you may be aware, Elisif's husband, High King Torrig, was recently killed. Elisif mourns her husband deeply, and she feels that a festival that burns a king in effigy is distasteful. I tried to convince her the festival is many centuries old and celebrates solitude, but I need proof. I believe King Olaf's verse will provide that proof. I think Giraud here would give you the best explanation of both it and the history of King Olaf's verse. You should speak to him about it. I wish you luck in finding the verse.
Good to meet a prospective bard. He's sending you after King Olaf's verse, then. That's good. We shouldn't leave it lying around now that I figured out where it is. The verse was Svafnir's contribution to the Poetic Edda, the living history of Skyrim. Each bard adds to the Edda in his or her time. And a very ancient one. The verse criticized the reigning King Olaf. He was so incensed the bard was put to death and all the copies burned. At least, that's what we thought until I translated some ancient texts a year or so ago. We now believe King Olaf buried the truth with the bard. If I'm right, Svafnir and King Olaf's verse lie in Dead Men's Respite, along with the burial chamber of King Olaf himself. Be careful. You might find more than
Dean of Loot at
good
the Bard's
Ildi. Soak
College.
in the
And
lore.
no, I
You
don't
always
know
brighten
why
my day a
During
little.
the Red Year.
Hello, friend.
A massive explosion? I wish only to graduate and enroll with the Legion. My drums will lead our troops to victory. And why wouldn't I be? We sing tales of kings, queens, and their politics, 'tis true. But do you know who really makes history? The person who writes it. Farewell,
Ardenfel's
stranger.
Red Mountain erupts. Try to be precise, Yorn.
I have
Remember,
been working
being
on
a
a few
bard
songs
not
of my
just about
own.
music.
If you want to hear them, take a seat and let me know.
They're mostly...
I do not mind standing or sitting while I perform, but I would prefer that you were relaxed and focused.
Yes, Headmaster.
I have a few basic ideas for songs about you. They are just works in progress, though. They sound unmusical. I often create my own songs, but they are very bad. I just don't have the time to work at being gifted. There are many talented people here. I could learn a lot from them if I could be bothered. If you sit down and I sing, be ready to laugh, but not too hard, okay? If you need anything else, just ask.
Be careful!
You are a dog with a big bushy tail. If you don't feed, you whimper and wail. I am not a good singer. but I try. I am the cat that got the cream. If you take it back, I will make you scream. You want to talk? You have my full attention. I can hack a foe's head from their shoulders with one blow. It is not boasting, it is just a fact. I like to have a full quiver. You can never have too many arrows. Okay? Yes, my friend. Go ahead, ask away. Okay, maybe I will work on some new material. What is on your mind? Ask away. I awoke one morning to a lot of noise outside our tent. My brother staggered in, bleeding, and pushed our father's sword into my hand. He said that if I loved him, I would run. He used the last of his strength to rip out the back of the tent and push me down the slope beyond. Some Khajiit-hating locals had blamed us for a spate of robberies in the area, and had decided to take the matter into their own hands. 12 of them had snuck up on us in the night. My brother died, but I live because of him. Yes, that morning I lost all that was dear to me. Unfortunately, I also uncovered a side of myself I never knew existed. Every day, my friend. Every day. His name was Fergus. I miss him very much, but part of me is glad he did not witness what became of me after his passing. I appreciate the sentiment, but I hit rock bottom and kept digging. He would have been stronger. I was recruited by a group of bandits a few years ago. That is when I discovered skooma. It was the beginning of a lot of nastiness. I was with a bandit girl for a while. Turns out she was using me. She wanted protection, not affection. As soon as she found someone more psychopathic, I was dropped like a sack of troll dung. I thought I did. We dulled each other's pain somewhat. She seemed like the only bright thing in a very dark place. Regrettably, she was a vicious, manipulative harpy. I left the bandits and took the only ally I had with me. He was also an addict, but we thought we had it under control. His name was Felix. He was a big fellow, good in his scrap. We became mercenaries together. After a few months, Felix and I had made a little gold, but our addiction to skooma was getting in the way. No one trusts an addict, my friend. Especially not another addict. From time to time my body does, but my mind is made up. I am never touching the stuff again. It helped me smother some painful memories, but it took my sense and reason as payment. It was not a fair trade. There is not much to tell. He never spoke about his past, but it was clear he had also been through a great deal before becoming a bandit. That life did not seem to suit him. He had been an educated man at some point, I am sure of it. He was violent, but he had retained some dim vestige of honor. I wish we had met under different circumstances. One day, Felix burst into my chamber. Instinct took over and I reacted. His murder was my second-to-last step on the road of dishonor. Trying to kill you was my last. My journal tells the rest. Read it if you want. I do not enjoy speaking of these things. That is my story. Not a happy one, but maybe the happy stuff is still to come. Rabbits are not all they seem. Believe me, I found out the hard way. My honor is very important to me. My heart swells at the sight of natural beauty. Okay, what is on your mind? Yes, let us go.